Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Today is going to be a short video and an explanation why the in-depth review of the Lenovo Smart Paper is going to be delayed and it's going to take quite a bit more time than I initially understood. So basically, when I received the device, I misunderstood or didn't receive enough information to actually understand that this is a very early sample model and the scheduled release is not even yet confirmed. So I have asked them and I'm waiting for the confirmation. So if I do receive the confirmation in the meantime, I'm gonna pop it down here so that you know when it's expected. Some sources say late 2023 or something like that, but at the very least it's going to be at least a couple more months until we actually see a finished state of Lenovo Smart Paper. As such, its ecosystem, the software and everything is in a very early state, which became kind of obvious to me when I started to test it more in depth. But the impressive thing for me, at the very least, is that even in such a super early state, when I was doing my first impression video, I was unable to actually see that immediately. In fact, from the writing capabilities alone, the super early state of the Lenovo Smart Paper is like eons ahead of what the final release is on the Kindle Scribe, for example. So that is something that kind of threw me off because it didn't make sense, but obviously they focused a lot on the writing side of things, which is good. But when I started to test out the reader side of things and the other things as well, then it kind of became obvious, oh, wait a minute, this is work in progress, they're not done yet. Then we exchanged some messages and then it became clear that this is like uber early. So there's no point in me doing an in-depth review of an unreleased tablet that's not even finished because that's irrelevant information. So I'm going to be waiting until we have at least a release candidate and an OS and ecosystem ready for Lenovo Smart Paper, which is going to resemble what the customers are actually going to have when they are able to buy this device. But there are some things that I could test and that are kind of relevant for even though it is the way it is, and just to give you guys like a sneak peek, and I was just curious to know what can we expect from the Lenovo Smart Paper, because we've seen a little bit in the first impressions, so I just wanted to give you some testing results that are relevant. So the testing results that I'm going to be covering here are the ink to screen distance, which is at around 1 millimeters, which is consistent and normal for all of the units that have a front light, because that front light always adds that distance, so there's no way around it. But it's actually quite impressive that they managed to get this unit to be 5.5 millimeters thin. So that's like 0.2 millimeters thinner than Note Air 1, and that would be 8.8 millimeters, so less than 1 millimeter thicker than the Remarkable 2, yet it does have a front light and 64 gigs of storage and an octa-core and all of the other stuff. So yeah, that's a pretty sweet thing to see. And I gotta say, like, yes, it is a heavier device because it's metal, but that thinness and that build quality, because I've had now the opportunity to use it quite a bit more, it's just a really properly impressive device. Very nice job there. Now, so ink to screen distance is 1 millimeter, standard for front-lit devices. Then I tested out the screen resistance coefficient, and it's actually quite interesting because it does feel, as I said, it felt like Remarkable, but a little bit better. The hardness, I don't have a test for it yet, unfortunately, but that's something I'm going to be working on as well. But when I write on it, it does feel harder, like Remarkable 2, for example, and not like Remarkable 1, which I think makes sense because I think there's a glass panel underneath this surface that has been applied to it. The screen surface resistant test places the Lenovo Smart Paper at around 35.25% of resistance from a real piece of paper, which puts it like just underneath the Kindle Scribe's feel, and that describes why it actually felt quite nice to write on it. So it is a little bit rougher than the Remarkable 2, which was at 27.43% of a paper, but it is quite a bit less rough than the Remarkable 1, which was at 53.1%, and you can see on the chart here where it actually stands. And the final test that I could and wanted to do, the battery test I didn't do because that doesn't make any sense to do it now, but so far battery is holding really well. I just charged it once since I got it. It's still at 74%, and I've done writing and I did some reading and all that kind of stuff, still doing fine, so that's okay. But there's no point in doing a battery test right now, simply because the software version is too early, and that changes dramatically with the software iteration. So that's going to be saved for the in-depth review. Similar thing could be said for the writing latency, the Desta test, but I wanted to at least do a preliminary test to see whereabouts are we and what we can expect from the Lenovo Smart Paper as far as writing latency goes. And the tests of the state that it's in right now are actually quite interesting, because Lenovo Smart Paper has a latency of under 30 milliseconds. Just under, but still under 30 milliseconds at 29.6 milliseconds of writing latency, and was really consistent. So I do 10 passes and then I average out the result, and it was like almost all 10, like 8 out of 10 were like dead on the same value, which was quite interesting and impressive thing to see. And it places the Lenovo Smart Paper in the top tier of devices which break that 30 millisecond writing latency category, which is a very good thing to see. So in current iteration, not as fast as Remarkable 2, but it's quite close, as it is less than 6 milliseconds slower than the Remarkable 2, and that's not really something that you can feel drastically. So it's definitely in the Remarkable 2 feeling category and the Supernote speed category as well, which is an excellent thing to see, especially because it's not even finished yet. Hopefully that means that there's some more room for improvement, which would be definitely an interesting thing to see. I've asked a series of questions to Lenovo, and I'm still waiting for some of these answers, but I can't really wait indefinitely. The video needs to come out so that people can know why the in-depth review is not coming out. So I'm going to wait for a little while, and if I do get a response, then there's going to be an insert into the in the editing that's going to explain all of this, and that insert is going to happen now. So if something happened, then you have the information. If nothing happened, then I just did this and we are continuing on as if nothing happened. Either way, I'm going to relay the information as I receive them. So I don't have a price confirmation yet, but again, similar like with the release date, these are all unconfirmed things so far, but the rumors are that Lenovo Smart Paper should come out in Europe in later 2023, and the rumors are also that the price should be at around $400 for the entire package, the device, the pen, and the magnetic flip cover. Now that price seems really good, and I'm a little bit skeptical about that because I haven't received a confirmation. But if that turns out to be true, then this device is a very serious contender and something to definitely keep an eye out and your ear out to know when more information comes out on this one. But as I said, as soon as I actually get some information that's actually confirmation directly from Lenovo, I'll relay it to you guys so that we have confirmed info. So far, all of these are just speculations and unconfirmed rumors, shall we say. So take them all with a grain of salt. I hope you liked the video and that you actually found at least this little bit of info informing, interesting, or useful. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell in the description down below to get notified when new videos come out on My Deep Guide. And also I invite you to check out the mydeepguide.com/shop, where you can find the My Daily Organizer 2023, which is a hyperlinked PDF file that can satisfy all of your personal or professional organizing needs, and because it covers all of your yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily organizing needs, whatever it may be. And you can find the MDO playlist in the description down below to get more info and to see if MDO is a product for you or not. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!